is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Richard Harrington, for this evening. Richard is an inspiring young social entrepreneur who is passionate for skill development and uplifting our community, which shines through his every action. He is encouraging and he is heartwarming, and he also leaves a legacy for generations to come. Richard is in the makings of being a true 5.0 society leader, and we are all excited to watch him grow to his full potential.
Hi there, welcome. I'm Richard Harrington.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We really look forward to hearing your story. Please come up.
I'm the light lady. Hey, Richard.
Awesome. First of all, I'd like to say that I feel honored to be here. Oh no, no pressure. And I'd like to thank you guys for this opportunity. And yeah, I'm excited for this evening. What I will be speaking about is what I did wrong in business, the lessons I've learned. So as you guys saw there, the video, I did a lot of things right, and I thought for this evening, I want to speak about the three lessons I've learned, what not to do again. But I'll first begin with my story. As you saw, I was on many radio shows and in the media for retiring at the age of 24. But just the background of that was I went to university, received a BCom in investments, and my first paycheck I received, I blew it because I wasn't used to money. And who can relate to the loose life in university? Just And then not just the first month, the first year, I just wasted money. Money came in, money went out. I didn't know what was happening. And then after 2 years, I found myself deep in the minus, buried in the debt. And I wasn't sure who to approach because I was embarrassed. I had a BCom and I couldn't budget. And I couldn't approach my friends because my friends was also in the negative, in the debt space. It would have been the blind leading the blind. So I went researching what is the best way to pick myself out of this mess. And I found out ways how to just hack my mind and hack my habits. And in 1 year, I just wiped out all of my debt. And there's more than 100,000 Rand of debt. I wiped it off in 1 year. And then I was riding home from work and I saw a beggar at the robot. And the thought hit me, this guy has no debt. He has no debt. Then I thought, wow, there's another level here. Because many people, they just want to have no debt. I want to be debt-free. And then what? A beggar has no debt. Then I thought there's a next level, wealth building. But what is wealth? Because wealth isn't a Mercedes-Benz or BM. Many of the people that ride Mercedes-Benz have no money to put petrol in their car. There's no offense if you ride a Mercedes-Benz. But what that is, it's liability. It's not an asset. So when I just looked up what is wealth, it's an accumulation of your assets over time. So I went researching, I need some assets. So I researched all assets in South Africa, which had the most ROI, and it was equities, shares on the stock market. And I began to pump my money in there because I had no more loans or accounts or debts, MasterCard, RCS, Markhams, name them, I had them. And I knew if this money lies in my bank account, I'll spend it and I'll be back into debt. So I needed a place to funnel this. So I put it into shares. After 6 months, my returns of my shares matched my salary, and I resigned because I had no debt and my lifestyle was simplistic. And I was 24, living off my shares. Then I thought, now what, I'm young, I have all this energy, let me teach what I know. And I made a course is how you can be your own investment manager in 1 hour. That thing spread like wildfire. People requested it in Joburg, Durban, PE. We Skyped it, we Zoomed it. Now I travel to Africa to teach people to be your own broker. I know we're live, but the broker will make you broke. You gotta be your own broker. And then I realized that people are buying shares for the wrong reasons. They're like, oh, I like the logo, let me buy the company. Or I like the company advert, let me buy the company. Or the best is, I like the service of the company, let me buy the company. Now, those are not investment reasons, and you will lose money. So I started a research company where these individuals buy my research. Then I spotted a gap that I was making a lot of money for people here, but what's the purpose here? What's the vision? What's the goal? When you leave here, you can't leave with your money. So I launched a coaching practice, became accredited NLP, and that's where we speak about what is your vision, what is your purpose, what is your why. And then I spotted another gap that many people run their businesses in silos. This is my business, this is your business. And if you work in a silo, it's impossible to grow. So I launched a business, an events business, and it's around South Africa to hand people a fresh start. People that have messed up financially, which was me. And I teach people how to wipe out your debt, how to launch your own business, and how to buy your first share. And at the moment now we're launching the fourth business, which is a new app we're developing for business specialists in the niche market. But I said that all because the number one lesson I've learned in this business is you cannot rely on one revenue stream. That's one of the biggest risks. And that's the problem with these business owners. The minute you run out of your cash flow, everything stops. No matter what your vision was, your intentions, if you run out of money, everything stops. And in fact, you need 4 revenue streams. There's one for every season. And that's why I'm launching my 4th business. And the man who said that is Warren Buffett. I've read 9 of his books, and it's all about longer-term value investing, not being a trader, not looking for short-term speculations. Wealthy people are wealthy because of one word, their time. They're willing to put the time in. I tell people, if you want to make money overnight, you'll lose money overnight. It's about time. And it's the exact same in your business. We're building a business for the next decade, next century, next millennium. And when you have that mindset, you have a solid foundation. And we've just filmed my first masterclass. It was released last week. You gave a prize away, and I thought, what can I hand away? So you guys here will receive my masterclass for free.
Oh, wow.
Cool. And in the masterclass, I explain the difference between basically the 4 revenue streams you need. So we don't have the time now, but here's the 4 revenue streams you need. Your core is income, your side income, your rental income, and your share portfolio income. So many people, when they hear, oh, Richard, you're a share specialist, what's better? Your shares or property. It's like asking what's better, your leg or your arm. You need both. You need them all in a holistic portfolio. So that's for the masterclass, which you guys will receive. Lesson number 2. I thought, what can I share is in the short space that we can apply now? Because a lot of my friends are like already writing off this year. And they're like, oh, what's your plans for New Year's? What's your plans for next year? But we're not finished. And I mean, if you put the focus in for this last few months, you end on a massive high. And if you end on a massive high, you start much higher. And so I thought, let me speak about your capital. Many people think your capital is money, but it's not. It's your relationships. And if you look at many wealthy people, they're wealthy because of their circle, because of their influence. So when you meet a wealthy individual, you won't hear, oh, I wish his boss hands me a pay rise. No, they're the boss. Or I wish I receive a bonus, or what's the other one? I wish I receive a promotion. Like, who wants a promotion? Because the more you earn, the more you pay your taxes. As wealth people are like, what's your property portfolio looking like? What's your stock portfolio looking like? What are the businesses you've acquired? What's the assets you've acquired? And what I've realized is your network is your net worth. When I was in that space, no money, in debt, it was because my friends was in debt. And there's a quote, the average of the 5 people is in your life. And that's the truth, because when I changed my circle, my bank account went up and up and up. Just because of your environment rubs off on you. It feeds into our mindset, it feeds into our perceptions, our behaviors, our actions. Then I realized the quickest hack is to just change your environment. And as you guys is part of this network and mastermind, I know it's the choir that I'm speaking to. But if we could really, if we shift the focus, because many times if you meet a person and they say, no, I need resources, I just wish I need resources. No, you need to be resourceful with what you have. Because the problem is not what you lack, the problem is your focus. Your focus is on what you lack, and what you focus on expands and manifests. So if you put the focus on what you do have, you'll become more resourceful, and you'll attract the right people in your circle. So you guys receiving any value here? Okay, cool. So yeah, if you're taking his notes, you want to just write that down. Your network is your net worth. And the secret is always network up. So we just help all people, but we don't network with all people. Because it's who you spend your weekends with, holiday time with, overtime with, you become the average of that 5 people. And as you guys know, Roger is Hamilton. Zuya has met him. And I have his affirmation before I attend every networking event. If it's a mastermind, if it's Roger's event, or Brian Welsh, I have an affirmation. And his affirmation just manifests time and time and time. Would you guys like to hear the affirmation? I always meet the right people at the right time to make the right deal. And it happens. I bump into people with the same mindset, with the same attitudes, with the same work ethics, with the same integrity, with the same morals. And it's like they say, if you believe that there's a scarce universe out there, you're right. If you believe there's an abundant universe out there, you're right. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Are you is African or Afrikaant? Sorry guys, slow joke. But yeah, and they are out there. All we need to do is just show up. And when we show up with the right mindset, not speaking about the drought or the president. Speak about your goals and your vision, and you will attract those people. Lesson number 3. How's my time looking? Good. Lesson number 3, small thinking, small life. Many times, a person's business will have so much potential, but their goals are too small. Their mindset is too small. You can hand them R1 million, they won't even know what to do with it. If you hand a wealthy person R1 million, they know how to just make it into R2 million into 10 million rand, because they already have the goal. So many times when I meet people and I'm like, what's your number 1 obstacle you're facing? And they're like, money, I need money. I can hand you money. If I meet you next year, you'll be worse off. Because it's not about the money, it's about the mindset. And if you have R1 million with a poverty mindset, you'll be worse off. And a wealthy mindset, if you give them R1, their first thought is assets. What is the assets I can put this in? If you and the rest of South Africans R1, how can I spend this R1? Liabilities. It's the same R1, but the mindset and the focus. And if you want to, I'm just watch my steps here. If you want to have a mindset shift, you need to have a vision. Because a vision is what will inspire you. And there's a saying, one of my mentors, Michael Beckworth, he says, pain will push you until a vision will pull you. So I was in that space, in that rut, wasting money, living the vida loca, because I had no vision. And if you don't have a vision, you need to just push yourself out of bed every morning. Like, oh crap, now I have to go shower. Oh crap, now I have to go sit in the traffic. Oh crap, now I have to go work. Oh crap, my boss. And you've been pushed through life because you don't have a vision. When you have a vision, your vision begins to just pull you out of your bed in the morning. And when you have a vision, you'll just never need motivation. Never. Your vision becomes your motivation. And that's why I tell people, before you do your business plan, your feasibility, your studies, just have a picture of what you're doing here. Is how would it look 5 years from now, a decade from now? And that is what we call your North Star, your end goal. Once you have that, you just reverse engineer back. But without a vision, you then become a victim of your life, your circumstances. When you have a vision, that becomes your fuel. Because now you know, I don't know why it's here now, but I know underneath this, I will use it. Because otherwise, why would it be there? And so you meet many of the people, they will put the focus on the problem. But if you put the focus on the potential, you move out of it faster. And your vision is basically your purpose, your mission, your calling. Whatever is label you put on it, doesn't matter. What matters is that it excites you. And what matters is that when you wake up in the morning, your vision is your first thought. When you sleep at night, your vision is your last thought. Your vision is why you're here. Your vision is why you built your business. Your vision is why you do what you got to do. And a lot of my friends is like, no, they won't launch a business because of the challenges and the red tape. And I'm like, what's the alternative? It's having a job, paying bills. If your goal is to pay rent or bond, your life is small because your goal is small. If your goal, like we saw here at the UN, my one is actually is inequality. So, I mean, as you guys know, in South Africa, we have political freedom, but not economic freedom. But you cannot fight for economic freedom. You invest your way there. And so what we don't want is having progression and we're leaving out a majority of the population. We need massive rebalancing inequality, but you have to know that what you put in, you get out. Economic freedom is the reward of your assets. And that's why I love Madiba, because he knew that your sacrifice is before you get the reward. Many of the people want reward without sacrifice. No one owes you anything. We're here to build South Africa, not what can we get from South Africa. And when we have that mindset, then it's like we're farmers. If we want that harvest, we've got to put something in the ground. And that's investment, that's business, that's life. We're sowing for not now, but for the future. And I just had to mention the Springboks. Give a round of applause to the Springboks. I couldn't end without mentioning them, Because when I saw this picture of Cyril, it reminded me of this picture, 1995. And obviously, I'm not naive to think the Springboks will fix the problems in South Africa. They are not a solution. They are a catalyst to having a whole nation shift from the problems onto the potential. This is the proof that when we celebrate why we're different, we achieve much more. That because we're different, it's a strength, it's not a weakness, it's an asset. Like they say, variety is the spice of life. So you're different, we're not the same, that's a good thing. Because you have what I need and you need what I have. And just our captain there's a picture where he met Skalk 15 years ago when he was in the townships. And now he won the World Cup. And that's just a picture of what can happen in 15 years if you have a vision. And when I met Trevor Manuel, I said, what's your number one advice that you have? And he said, mediocrity will attack excellence. Don't surround yourself with average people. I was like, damn, that's rough. But it's true. Because if you lie on the couch all day watching, I don't know what you're watching, no one will attack you because you're not doing anything. The minute you step up and you pursue your vision, people will attack you because you're exposing a thing in them. So they project onto you. But you got to be ready for it because that's your purpose. That's your why. And I think we are about to wrap up here. I just want to mention that most of the people says, okay, but that's 995. This is now, 25 years later. Yes, that's my point. Look how far we've come. We have a powerful past. Powerful past. We are really one of the most resilient nations on the planet. If you look at what we've been through. 994 happened, we're still here. Mbeki was recalled, we're still here. The Guptas, the Zumas, the Zuptas, we're still here. The president arrives and leaves, we are still here. And I tell people his number one, his mindset is, I'm not a victim of the economy, I make his own economy. It's every single day. And that's the best part of being a business owner, that you set the vision, you set the strategy, you set the game plan here. And then you have a team around you to implement it. But many people, they're like, oh, I just wish my team was more passionate, more on fire. And I'm like, but when I met you and he's asked you, what do you do? You were like, oh, I'm into IT, I'm into programming. You had no life, but you want your team to have life. Like the fire begins with us. We set the culture, we set the tone, we set the vision. And here's a quote by Madiba, and I'll wrap it up here. It says, it always seems impossible until it's done. And the focus there is seems. Nothing is as it seems. If there's a challenge, a problem, there's a message there. There's a gift there. You just have to put the focus on the gift and not on the problem. And once again, the rugby. But we did it again and again and again. So why can't we do it again? Bless you.
Thank you.
And that's really what his NMG is about. It's not a business, it's not a charity, it's not a foundation, because many of the times the people that need it never receive those funds. So it's none of that, it's a movement. So if what I've said here resonated with you, and you're like, Richard, you know what? If we want to make South Africa a kick-ass nation, we need to work as one. Whether we're white, black, cappuccino, mochaccino, we're all South African, and we all want the same thing. A better life for the future. So if that's you, you can mail me, and you can be a part of the movement, and also you'll receive his masterclass as well. And I'd like to thank you guys.
entrepreneurs have moments where we're alone. It's hard, it's tough. We think it's only happening to us. And there are moments where the cash flow is tight and we have to dig deep. What principles kept you deep within yourself, where you had to really go to that place where you had to find that inspiration to get up and shift your mindset onto your vision? Because it's not always so easy to stay true north. So what helped you? What practices, daily practices, helped you in those challenging times?
Yeah. How long have you got?
3 seconds.
Yeah.
3 minutes, no, quickly.
Okay, obviously you have your tools where you can apply your mindset on. So you have your meditations, you have your affirmations, you have your journaling, and that's ways to pick yourself out of that negative space. But what worked for me was when I was in that space of all the debt and people were calling me and when are you paying? And I looked at what I was earning and I thought there's no way I'm gonna make it out here. I realized, you know what, I'm not where I want to be. So I'm not debt free yet, but I have one less loan. Last month I paid off one more account. And when I looked at the progress, that's what handed me the energy to keep moving. So many times you have your goal, but that's not your focus. Because many times your goal is so big, it can actually paralyze you. So you put your goal, but you put it on the shelf. The focus is your progress. And I mean, we know these things. Like, thank the Lord, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm so thankful I'm not where I was. So you celebrate and acknowledge how far you've come. Yeah, and you look at your strengths and not your weaknesses. And it's all about self-love. You look at what you're good at. And then you acknowledge yourself, like, okay, look how far I've come. And that's how you build yourself up.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Cool.
Really, and honestly, thank you so much for sharing today. I think we've all been completely inspired, and what a wonderful way to end our year. This is our last social this year.
Wow.
To have someone like you truly let us rethink how we're going to end our year so we can actually raise our bar before we hit 2020. So thank
Awesome.
you.
It's my pleasure.
Don't go away because Debbie Taylor is our sponsor for this evening and she has a gift for you tonight.
Hello. Thank you.
You can either do
R1 million, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Million moments of
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Really, thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.